Hey everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I was just about to do a quest off the recording when I'm pretty sure I know what this quest is going to entail, so I decided to start up. I'm pretty sure this is the section in which I can get my first mount, the Chocobo. Now, three guys just ran in. This guy's the Flame Officer. I'm pretty sure one of these is from each different... There's the Serpent, yep. And this guy, he will be the Storm Officer. So I get to sort of choose which Grand Company I want to participate in, which I think is only really related to PvP and maybe a little bit of story, but still. So you can see your recent exploits have garnered the attention of the Grand Companies. Each organization would have a freed Bane for its own. To this end, all three companies have sent officers to court you. So this is a big deal. Reputation precedes you. Just no ordinary man who could face a primal and emerge the victor. Pleasure to meet you. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Before you aided us against the Amalja, was a well-respected name at Ul'dah. They better be. I did a lot of random fetch quests for people. Join your strength to ours, and together we shall see the grand vessel of Limsa Lomsa, the shores of victory. I am quite sure you have no need of reminding. May have a brief summary. As you know, the Grand Company is all-encompassing organization. Yada yada. Serving the Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards. Cool. Such as a mount. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice to face. Okay. The three city-states are planning to hold remembrance ceremonies. You understand that the leader of each company will dress in make a dress. Okay, so I'm gonna have to run to all three different cities, hear their addresses, I'm assuming. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to go to all three cities, hear all three addresses, and then I'll come back and choose. Okay, so I'm joining a company, but that doesn't mean I'm not a Scion. Okay, well, looks like we're doing some teleporting around. Take with Totoro. They're outside, I believe. Okay, I'm inclined to go with the Flames, just because that's where I started. I'm you know, they have a big army. Like, you know, they got the paladins. They've got what's his face. I can't remember his name, but you know, they that's where I started. It's my humble beginnings. The first 3 services will hold our address here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I need to head to Gridania. I can do that. Alright, we'll see when we're there. Okay, here we are at the amphitheater in Gridania, which is where we will hear our first address from the captain, or the admiral? Who's this lady? The seer? I think the seer.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seedseers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
I'm glad these are voice acted so I don't have to read these entire things.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Carteneau. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on the
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
All
forest.
the elementals! If you'll permit me, Alfie No. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
Alright, we're back to non-cutscene, but Rangers are unfortunate enough to have contended with 2 beast tribes. Ixal, who summoned Garuda, okay. And the Sylphs, who summoned Ramu. Means we have no love for war. Sounds like we need to go beat up Garuda at some point. Alright, so from what I'm getting, the Twin Adders are kinda the underdogs. They're the peace-loving people. They're beset by 2 different tribes, whereas other people are only beset by 1. They need help, is what we're getting there. But let's go to the next service over in Ul'dah. Alright, here we are in Ul'dah, and we're into location for the next service.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Roban as well.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore.
Hurrah! Rauban!
Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Nalthal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Carteneau, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah.
Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Rauban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
That was a much more thrilling speech. I liked it.
Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
Yep, we got the Amalja. We already knew that. Take it you encountered them. I have. Dealt with a Freet. Yeah, we did. The Garleans are still around. Seem to be the big baddies for this main part of the game. These two are interesting adventurers. Alright, we got one more service over in Limsa, so we'll be back. Alright, I think we found the next part, the next service.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the Black Longship represents...
When the Garlean Empire all answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours didn't. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom, much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the Sahag and creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
while the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Even now, the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their... How can we hope to repel our many enemies? There is but one course, one bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt Pirate and Maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you.
It's not fancy, you just follow me, come on. Plagued by 2, Sahagin, ooh, the Leviathan, cool. And kobolds, ooh, Titan, right. So it looks like Ul'dah's got it the best, like the Flames, they've only got the Malga. So these guys here, the Limsoma, they didn't really appeal to me, I guess. I don't know. I think the Flames are going to be the best bet for myself. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna pick the Flames, and then we need to head back. I don't think I can teleport there. I have to use this stupid, this thing. So we'll see you back in a minute to pick our Grand Company. Alright, we are back in the Waking Sands. Gonna pick our Grand Company. Just eliminating... Give them the answer, okay. What's happening? Oh. These two, okay.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies, as though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None.
It's a true fact.
I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alisaie, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience.
Who's your grandfather?
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you.
Who are these two?
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Intriguing. Classic Final Fantasy little mystery. Who the heck are these two? Level up to 28. We're only 2 levels away from becoming a paladin. Alright, but yes, I have chosen. I'm going to become a flame. Join the Immortal Flames. Formerly inducted. Okay. Personal officer at the Hall of Flames. Alright, let's go do that. Real quick before we end this video. Alright, didn't take us long to get here. Here's the Flame Personnel Officer. Next to Halls of Flame. My name is Castian. I believe you're expecting me. I have you. Here to enlist. From Azure, sir. Okay. They fired on Highwind Skyway airship. The Flames need your help now. In the midst of a large-scale operation against the Amalja. Okay, get to that ship before the Garleans do. Alright, well, like, no rest for the wicked, eh? Okay, damn it, okay. Alright, next part. I'm going to stop this here. Next time, we are going to go help out the Flames. And we're going to become a flame. And we're going to see what that entails. But we'll see you next time, guys.